No filters, no restraints. Just raw, unchained torque exploding into the open air and billows of thick coal smoke pouring like storm clouds. What you're about to witness isn't some casual collection of clips. It's a warning. The beasts of diesel have been let loose and they have no intention of being tamed. Press play only if you're ready to dive into mechanical chaos. Once you start, there's no turning back. The impact was brutal, a hit so strong it reverberated through the steel frame. That bumper pitched forward like it had just taken a knockout punch, and yet the truck stood tall, daring the world to hit harder. You'd think that kind of strike would retire most machines, but not here. Not in this arena. And just when you're catching your breath, the two JZ Swap S13s roll out. Machines stitched together by brood motors, running combinations so wild they make ordinary builds look like toys. Crowds erupt in applause as the smoke clears, and then we're transported back to May 20th, 2012 in Lima, Ohio at the four-wheel jamboree. The Burnout contest that day wasn't just loud, it was explosive. One truck went all in, spinning until the turbo cried out in agony and blew itself apart. As if that wasn't enough, flames licked through its frame halfway through the run. But luck, or maybe fate, had the driver's back. Even with the fire and the failure, he clinched first place, leaving everyone stunned at the victory forged in smoke and sparks. Just when I thought the madness had reached its peak, something else slammed into view, a build so outrageous it shattered expectations. That's the beauty of this world. Just when you believe you've seen it all, some mastermind proves you wrong. Mechanical insanity knows no limits. And it begs the question, how far would you go to create something that makes people question reality? Ever watched a pickup truck glide across the grass like a skater set aflame? Not charging, not stumbling, but dancing, light on its feet as though gravity itself loosened its grip. It's not just driving, it's performance art written in tire marks and exhaust trails. And then comes a legend with a name that explains everything. He calls his creation the Chain Smoker. One glance at the exhaust and you understand instantly. It's not just transportation, it's a full-blown commitment. Every weld, every bolt, every long night poured into that build screams devotion. It's more than a truck, it's an oath. The atmosphere changes when jet power enters the stage. Bob Motz's jet truck doesn't simply drive, it assaults the senses. Designed for one purpose, pure spectacle, it roars onto the strip, spitting fire, detonating thunder, and ripping down the track at speeds that turn seconds into blurs. The flames trail behind like dragon breath, the roar hitting your chest harder than any bass speaker could dream of. For nearly 7 seconds, it's less a truck and more a rocket dressed in steel. The crowd stands frozen, jaws unhinged. That's not a race, that's controlled chaos disguised as entertainment. And then it's back to earth, at least somewhat. A man tunes his truck with a quick test run, dialing the clutch like a surgeon finding a heartbeat. Afternoon sun blazes down, heat waves rising off the pavement as the motor screams. That kind of heat, relentless, searing, and alive, becomes almost a character itself. In this game, heat breaks men and machines alike. Precision. That's the only word to describe an Audi R8 carving perfect donuts inside tight quarters, smoke curling around like a crown of chaos. Every flick of the wheel, every stab of throttle demands absolute control. It's not just showing off, it's a dance on the edge of disaster. Skill and nerve, that's the currency here, and this driver spends it freely. For one man, this day is everything he's waited for. You can see it in his stance, in the way he grips the wheel. Years of anticipation collapse into a single moment as the engine fires and the tires bite into the earth. That roar isn't just horsepower, it's destiny. Then comes a Jeep Cherokee in its natural element. Rocks, mud, water, it devours them all. The suspension flexes, the clearance keeps it climbing, and the torque drags it forward like a predator through tall grass. Water splashes across the windshield, the tires churn, and yet the Jeep doesn't falter. This is what it was born to do. No hesitation, no fear, just unrelenting power against the elements. The clash between Audi's SQ7 and Jeep's legacy builds into a showdown of pure identity. European refinement versus rugged American muscle. One leans on sleek engineering, the other on raw resilience. Engines growl, tires spin, and the air thickens with tension. One will leave crowned, the other humbled, but the road itself wins, always demanding respect. Viewers are pulled into the chaos, urged to weigh in. Drop a 1 if it blew your mind, a 0 if it fell short. The creators thrive on that energy. Every comment, every like is fuel poured into the creative fire. The crowd answers with roars, with applause, with music and heat, always heat, rising higher until it becomes part of the rhythm itself. And then the reminder of what happens when raw force meets weak links. A monstrous 440 engine bolts into a frame that simply can't cope. Years of salted roads, brutal towing, and hard winters eat away at the foundation. Add too much torque, and the U-bolts surrender in dramatic fashion. Steel may be strong, but even steel has breaking points. Cut to a Wrangler Unlimited clawing its way through rocky streams, every tire bite proving why off-roaders worship this machine. It's proof of what the right build, the right preparation can accomplish. You don't just buy a Wrangler, you inherit a legacy of conquering trails. The applause echoes, celebrating a performance equal parts machine and human will. Then a Nissan Torano, jacked sky-high, decides the laws of road etiquette don't apply. It rolls its front tires right onto the roof of a black sedan, crushing metal like paper. That's not off-roading, that's domination. The crowd's reaction is pure disbelief. Did that just happen? Oh, yes, it did. Rewind further to the 2009 Greene County Tug-of-war showdown in Xenia, Ohio. The battlefield is dirt. The weapons are Ford and Dodge. Both machines dig in, chains straining, engines screaming. The Ford refuses to surrender, throwing every ounce of torque into the fight until its rear shock mounts snap under the strain. Zoom in and you can see it. The shocks shifting, the steel flexing, a visual reminder of the unimaginable forces unleashed in that pit. The chant goes up. 7.3, the best diesel ever made. Applause rattles the air as nostalgia mixes with pride. These aren't just engines, they're icons. Nature itself decides to join the action. A Range Rover finds itself mid-river, water pushing, current dragging, but the driver stays calm. No panic, no hesitation. With skill and guts, he pulls the machine out, turning what looked like failure into a flex that silences doubters. That wasn't survival, that was mastery. Truck tough, driver tougher. Josh DeGraff arrives in his '97 Ranger, a custom-built marvel with 6-cylinder power, 22 inches of travel up front, king coilovers, leaf springs, and dual bypass shocks in the back. It's more than specs, it's craftsmanship in motion. And when that suspension compresses and releases, it looks less like machinery and more like poetry written in steel. The debates rage on. Chevy or Ford, weight or torque. Cab size, engine heft, frame strength, all arguments collide in the dirt. The countdown begins, engines roar, chains tight. And then they're off, tires clawing, exhaust screaming, egos on the line. But dyno runs remind everyone of the risks. A Cummins 5.9 turbo build pushed far beyond safety, surges like a ticking bomb. The pressure spikes, the numbers climb, and then detonation. Metal screams, smoke bursts, and silence follows. That's the price of pushing limits. Sometimes you win, sometimes the machine explodes. Snow piles deep, but the Terramog 3 V6 laughs in its face. Unimog axles swap in, clearance rises, and suddenly winter becomes a playground. While others struggle and spin, this beast outsmarts the storm, walking tall where most machines sink. Through it all, respect lingers for the art. Lightning McQueen brought to life by builders pouring sweat and passion into every inch. These aren't just machines, they're tributes, breathing homages to imagination and perseverance. The applause isn't just for speed, it's for soul. But mistakes happen and some are deadly. A tow ball used as a recovery anchor. It looks clever, but it's a death trap. Unsafe recoveries show just how dangerous improvisation can be when steel and stress collide. Safety isn't optional here, it's survival. Hydraulics enter the spotlight. 13 inches of ride height adjustability, a patented lift mechanism controlled by remote, and a panhard system that keeps the body perfectly aligned. Trucks rise, trucks fall, all with flawless precision. Engineering like that turns heads because it isn't just strong, it's smart. Convoys tell their own stories. In London, Ohio, a massive line of trucks gathers outside Tupp's diesel performance, engines idling in solemn unison. They're there to honor Danny Tupps, a man who passed too soon but left a mark too deep to fade. Family, friends, and the entire diesel community stand together, bound by respect. The applause here isn't celebration, it's remembrance. His legacy, like his builds, will live on. Back on the trails, an XJ Cherokee takes on a creek with casual confidence, rolling through water as if it were nothing more than a Sunday drive. Mud splashes, tires churn, and yet the ride feels almost effortless. That's the magic of a platform built to handle punishment with grace. Then come the muddy escapes, the stuck rigs that defy logic by clawing back out. Just when you're sure they're buried for good, a twist of torque, a spin of tires, and they emerge victorious. That's not luck, that's refusal to quit. The world offers endless comparisons. Gaz 69 against Subaru Leon. One's a brute, heavy and solid. The other's light, nimble, full-time all-wheel drive. Snow becomes the judge, traction the currency. The outcome proves one truth: weight distribution matters as much as horsepower. The upgrades never end. Raptor tires slapped onto Foresters, turning family cars into trail warriors. Clearances checked, grip tested, trails conquered. The joy in the builder's voice says it all. Machines look tougher, handle harder, and earn respect where none was expected. And what happens when a V8 drops into an FJ40? Chaos. At the Ripco 4x4 showdown in Australia, the legend battles the terrain in a winch challenge, its roar echoing across the valley. November 2016 carved its memory into the dirt, the FJ proving why classics never die. They just evolve into monsters. When the dust finally settles, the engines cool, and the applause fades, one truth remains. These aren't just vehicles, they're stories. Each burnout, each tug-of-war, each climb through mud or snow is a chapter in a book written by those who refuse to live quietly. So thank you for riding through every second of this madness. If these moments thrilled you, if they reminded you why we love the sound of engines and the smell of fuel, then show it. A thumbs up, a subscription, a word of support. That's the fuel that keeps these stories alive. And make no mistake, there will always be another story, another machine, another moment waiting on the horizon.